two-time National Player of the Year here at Creighton. Tremendous career in playing and in coaching, but his first game at the helm.
He can get into any building in the city.
That's
He's
right.
got a key to the city here in Omaha.
We are underway in the second half of our doubleheader. Akron moving from left to right in this first half, and right away Creighton applying the pressure and nearly winning the ball in the box. Instead, it'll be an early throw that goes Akron's way. And this is the first touch for David Egbo, whom we highlighted in our open, but his first action is to give the ball to Yunus Boudadi,
who we also highlighted in the open.
Yep. So that's convenient. And a free kick for Creighton in the attacking half is Udai Toshiro brought down. That'll happen a lot. Udai Toshiro, just 5'5", but a guy who gives him so much energy and wins a lot of free kicks like this.
Tangled up. No ill intent. He'll tie a shoe on the field. This series all time between the Zips and the Blue Jays, I was surprised. 0-3-2. The Blue Jays have not ever beat Akron, and last year, Blue Jays number 8 in the country were taken out 1-0 by Tor Saunders. This is his 9th start ever. He's got 3 shutouts in those 9 starts, but you look back at that game, that propelled Akron on to the national runners-up in the College Cup. Back-to-back years for the Zips in the finals.
Yeah, Akron won 9 games in a row late in the season to reach that tournament final. They're a team that tends to peak later in the season. They often get off to slow starts. And they have a player down, and
looks like it might be Egbo.
Yeah, that is David Egbo. That is not a good sign for Akron as we get a stoppage about 90 seconds into this match. See Egbo grabbing at that leg. Again, he's on the Mac Herman Award watch list at the start of this season. College soccer's top award. Led them in goals and assists last season.
Just top that list right now. No assists so far for, Henry Cruz and Will Jackson splitting the assist on Egbo's goal, but Egbo leads them in goals, leads them in points, leads them in shots on goal. And he off on his own power. That's a good sign for Akron.
Yeah, that looked really bad initially. Good to see him walk off at least. See if he's able to get back in the match. Grabbing at that knee, it looks like. You do worry about that still, because some knee injuries, you think you're all right at first. It looks like they're going to let him back on the pitch in a moment, and now he is back on. So Akron back at 11.
Well, Akron's trainer came out and deemed him okay to go, so let's hope that there wasn't an underlying issue. It doesn't look like there is as he heads down the field.
Bryce Gibson had an early touch there. This is his first start of the season for Creighton. He missed the first 2 matches with injury. He's one of their 2 captains. As Paul Cruz closed down by Egbo, and that ball spun and stayed in play. So Egbo by the corner nutmegs Gibson, but it was a heavy touch. And the Jays come away with it. Toshiro. Nice ball forward, and it's a 2-on-2. Here comes Espeleta, spreading it wide to Hawkinson, who cuts inside. Espeleta again, edge of the area, trying to return it to Hawkinson. Jays screaming for a handball, nothing given, as referee John McCloskey not interested. Jays continue the attack though, but that's not a good ball. Intended for Ziad Ferris. Tries to win it back, but can't do it, as he was out-tackled by Will Jackson. Free kick to Akron, and referee wants a word with Charles August for that challenge. So August gets off with a warning just in the 3rd minute, so John McCloskey not wanting to go to the cards this early. But it's the kind of start we thought we would have in this match. 2 teams that like to play attacking style, like to keep the ball on the deck, and they both like to press. Musa Congo turns it over. Early opportunity for Sky Harder. Shepherded wide. Tries to twist along the end line and does. And then Cruz cleans it up at his near post. Paul Cruz, the sophomore goalkeeper for Creighton, played every game last year.
A nice job by Harder to intercept the pass, but there was nowhere to go. David Egbo waits in front, but the Jays doing a nice job of matching up, preventing him from passing to any of his teammates as he got down farther and farther.
Now, both sides have turned the ball over in dangerous areas in these first 5 minutes. And they both know you can't afford to do that often against opposition of this caliber.
Blue Jays doing a nice job of coming over on the defensive as Akron switched the fields, getting the turnover as a result.
Kuba Polot, the other player wearing the armband for Creighton, won that ball back. Now the Jays look to build some possession. Gibson rolls it back to Cruz.
Both teams doing a great job right now of eliminating the space to work with. You saw the Blue Jays move quickly, now Akron just as quickly as the ball continues to trickle back toward the Blue Jays frame.
See, Ferris lost it. Akron triangling their way forward, but cut off by Congo. And it's back with Polot. Surrounded by three, but he finds the outlet. Jays reset. Gibson's ball bounced fortunately right back to him. Espeleta chasing that down, but won't get there as Tor Saunders wearing that bright red goalkeeper's kit today. Tom Smart, senior from Birmingham, England. Back to his central defense. Carlo Rattaccio, who's their vocal leader on the pitch. Sees it come right back at him and his teammates, but not the ball Ziad Ferris was looking for.
Berm area is starting to fill up here at Morrison Stadium as Oktoberfest is in full swing. Not shockingly, the beer tent quite crowded as well.
Yeah, can't imagine why.
Sorry, the observation tent.
Where you can observe with beer.
Yes.
It's convenient. 6 minutes in, 0-0.
Donnie, you and I talked earlier as Akron continues to move the ball. 7-0, the Blue Jays are in Oktoberfest games, and this is the 8th occurrence, by far the most prestigious name on that schedule. Memphis, maybe one that stands out to you.
Here's Will Jackson outside the box, facing up Congo, spreads it wide to Chick, who is offside.
But you look at the names that were on that schedule, it's like a homecoming matchup when you bring in, I don't want to say a patsy, but I'll say a patsy. You bring in somebody that you know you've got a really good chance of victory against. So the Blue Jays putting it on the line tonight, welcoming Akron to town.
With the women's team victory over Iowa State, as we see this offside decision again. The women's team defeating Iowa State with an 88th minute goal from Skylar Heinrich earlier today, 1-0. So Creighton, between the men's and women's teams, now a combined 12-1-1 on Oktoberfests over the last 8 years.
It's been a mostly enjoyable evening on Oktoberfest nights.
Egbo looking okay after that early leg injury. Seems to be moving just fine. Akron with those bright orange shoes contrasting with their white tops and bottoms and socks. Bradley Chick, just a freshman. Both of these teams recruit, both these programs recruit very well, and Akron especially. Tremendous recruiting class this year, as they generally bring to this program every season. That's intended for Egbo, cut out with a good stretch by Connor Ramlow. Now the Jays look to counter Hawkinson in a race, but shouldered off the ball by Chick. Crowd yelling for a foul, none given, as referee John McCloskey signaled that it was a legal challenge with the shoulder.
In real time, it didn't look very legal, but
open to interpretation.
That's why he's wearing the jersey and we're just up here in the booth.
Sky Harder tees one up, high and wide. First effort of the match. So we see that no call again. Well, you see those given sometimes you don't. That time it wasn't.
Certainly bumped aggressively off the ball, but that's fine, play on.
Lusa Congo from Johannesburg, South Africa. Playing in a spot that we saw Akeem Ward play quite a bit the last few years for Creighton. Here is Congo. Toward the run of Hawkinson, but covered by Carlo Rotaccio. Saunders has time to take a touch. Keeps it on the deck. Marco Milanese from Isernia in Italy.
I thought you'd say that with more flair than you did.
Milanese.
There you go.
Yeah. Not Italian, so I won't try to be. Enrique Cruz shielding the ball, trying to find Chick, who tracks it down and keeps it in by the touchline. Then the cross toward Egbo, touched it away from a teammate, and then a right-footed effort over the bar from Diogo Pacheco.
I'm not sure that's the touch Egbo wanted, but it worked out conveniently. Dropping it one more time as you see the cross. It just happened to glance out and a perfect spot for a long ball.
Yeah, it looked like Sky Harder was crashing in behind Egbo, and if Egbo had let that ball go, Harder thought he might have a volley effort, but instead it was Pacheco putting it over the top. Toshiro, nice touch in traffic. Charles August. The ball to Hawkinson was cut out easily. Toshiro intercepts that. Excuse me, that's Yunus Budati who stepped forward. But Akron gain it back. Two early shots in the match, both of them belonging to the Zips, as this is Will Jackson. Slicing ball forward, couldn't find the head of Egbo. Over the top it goes for Ziad Ferris, but easily back to Tor Saunders.
Back line for Akron right now doing a nice job of matching the Blue Jays' frontline speed. Jays have had several runs, but Akron has beat them to each one of them. Only two shots in the game, both the balls over the frame for the Zips. Blue Jays have yet to get one off.
Well, neatly lifted by Sky Harder over Ziad Ferris, allowing Akron to continue this sequence. Sam Toyega to Rotaccio. Toyega again. Switches play on the left.
Good look from the far side.
Yeah, beautiful ball, and it forced Yunus Budati to play it out for the first corner of the match.
Diogo Pacheco was standing on that far side unguarded. And the perfect ball put on. Blue Jays just managed to get back and again setting up the corner, but still good look for the Zips to swing the ball to the far side.
Sky Harder to take the corner. Left footer, you see him lining up at that extreme angle. Akron bunching their attackers at the top of the six. Good ball in, but headed away by Gibson. Bryce Gibson, a towering 6'5". Well, not fully clear yet. And now here's Rotaccio. Great stop by Cruz to keep it at 0-0.
Nobody for Creighton stepping out. Cruz, a fantastic save, does set up another corner. A good feed back in. Look at the defenders for the Blue Jays. 8 guys bunched up in the box.
Another corner. And it's headed wide off a deflection. It's going to be corner number 3 for Akron. That wasn't far away either.
Blue Jays need a break here. Dangerous sequence.
Yeah, that was cleanly off a Blue Jay head. Close to an own goal. So Harder with another one of those sharp outswingers, and this time it's Egbo who got his head to it. It again deflected off a Blue Jay defender last. A 4th corner in succession coming for Akron, who are well on top in these opening 15 minutes.
Communication needs to be key here for the Blue Jays. You see them talking amongst each other, trying to position up and match up on who they want to get to on this corner. Let's see if it bends the same way.
Toward the near post this time. Solid layaway and then a block off the body of Charles August. Now the Jays look for a counter.
Great send on the header.
So you had Ferris tackled, and now play is blown dead. Might have our first card of the match, we'll see. Jays trying to play that early, and the referee allows it, which is interesting because he wasn't looking when the ball was played, and it falls to Toshiro. Jays have some numbers forward. So we see that foul again a moment ago. Jays chose to take that free kick really quickly. Now they win it back, but can't make anything of it. Now Akron have a chance to counter. Two attackers forward, two more trying to join the play. It's Pacheco, tackled well by Gibson.
Nice job by Gibson, just staying firm with the play. And stopping that ball without committing the foul.
Now Hawkinson with the control. Brings Ferris into the play, who has teammates to his left. Can't find Polak, but Polak with a slide. Along to Toshiro, who rolls it to Congo, and now Udai Toshiro again. Solid tackle on Ziad Ferris. Polak wins it back. Jays now trying to build their own momentum. After Akron came close to an opener a couple times in these early minutes. Good strength by Espeleta to keep possession. Connor Ramlow, who also missed the first couple matches with injury, back today for the Jays, so their back line in much more settled shape tonight. Ferris, Hawkinson. Luke Hawkinson with two defenders facing him, tries to switch it to the far side. Budati settles by the corner flag. Budati with the cross. Did that go behind? It did. It's a goal kick.
Four straight corners for Akron. The Blue Jays survive it. Here comes pressure from the Jays as Akron trying to feed it out. And they do. Wide open space for three different zips.
So calmly done by Akron. We're seeing high-level soccer teams do that. Goalkeepers no longer just kicking balls long. Playing it short, it's much more high risk, but if you have the skill and the savvy and the calmness to do that, you then keep possession much more often than lumping a goal kick down the field.
It's high risk as far as putting it forward, but it's also lower risk as far as turning it over at midfield or before or after.
Jays have a player down now on that far side. Clock is stopped with 28:01 to go in the first half. Might be.
It's Yunus Budati who gets down. Here comes the training crew.
Again, Yunus Budati, the guy we highlighted in our open.
Senior holding that high left ankle.
Budati back at his more favored outside back position tonight. See him named to the Big East honor roll for his work last week. Played 200 minutes at center back, which is not a spot he normally plays in. Played really well there. It'll be a big loss for the Jays if he has to go out of this match, but looks like he's going to try to walk it off. Jays taking advantage of this impromptu water break. 17 minutes in, 0-0. We're seeing early on, Jake, why Akron are so good every year. Their possession, their ability to bring attackers into the play, well on display in these early minutes. But Creighton have been able to punch back a little bit.
Yeah, you look at both teams, they're pretty evenly matched right now as far as what they've been able to do. They're trying to operate in space, and they've done that to an extent, but both squads defensively aren't wasting any time collapsing to where the ball is. And other than that last play out from goal by the Jays, there hasn't been really any opening spots for either squad. You saw three undefended players outside of it, but now look at the Jays match the Akron attack.
Congo wins the header. Toyega wins the ball. Both teams don't want to just lob long balls over the top. They want to keep possession, and they'll do that at the back as long as they need to. But Akron lost possession that time. It's not the best ball, but Ramlow chases it down.
Gave Ramlow plenty of space, though, to be able to adjust and make a decision. Not in traffic.
Now Hawkinson, neat turn and touch. Was Ferris impeded there? Creighton and the crowd sure thought he was. Nothing given, and now play stopped as Ferris is clutching his face. Johnny Torres in the ear of the fourth official on the touchline. Looks like, as you see, Torres there after stating his case.
Well, Bradley Chick was the defender, and it was not malicious. That's the equivalent of a screen being set, and Bradley Chick was just the wall in the way.
See our referee, John McCloskey. A moment ago, he was putting his hand to his ear. He and his linesman and his fourth official, they all have, you see the microphone by the side of his face. They can all communicate with each other. And it looked like he was having a long conversation with his officiating mates over what they saw. Because I don't think McCloskey saw that off the ball incident, but apparently they've all decided that it didn't warrant any kind of free kick or further action. So it's going to be a throw for Creighton as play restarts.
Well, it'd be nice to be able to see everywhere at once, but McCloskey, the ball had been played to that side. That's where he was looking, and the collision occurred after the ball had been played.
Well, that's a bad touch, and that would be a foul, but advantage given, and Hawkinson plays on for Creighton. But then they miscontrol it at the top of the box as Charles August couldn't take it in stride, and now a chance to counter for Diego Pacheco. Pacheco facing up against Budati, but Budati wins the battle and allows Cruz to clean up behind him.
Great run by Budati. Just staying in front of the mouth of the goal, taking the angle away from Pacheco, the attacker.
We're just keeping it in play on that far touchline. That's Tom Smart. Back to their goalkeeper, Tor Saunders. Congo flicked off the head of Ferris. Again, the referee put his whistle to his lips, but then said play on. And the Jays off the turnover. Spread it on the left to Ferris. Can he keep it in play? He did. Or maybe not. Nope, it had rolled across the end line. Far side linesman raising his flag, saying that was out of play. It's a goal kick.
Organize, Charles! Organize!
So Johnny Torres hollering organized to his team. His first season at the helm after being an assistant for the last 12 years. Told the press at Media Day this year that you lose a lot more sleep as a head coach. He said when he was Elmar Bolovich's assistant for the last decade, he'd give his thoughts, give his input, give his advice, and then whether Elmar took it or not, well, it was out of his hands, so he didn't really have to think about it after that. But when it's your final decision to make, you have to live with the consequences. It's a much different thing.
Everybody wants to be the king until they are the king, and then they realize how tough it was. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He said it's his dream job, and he's really excited to finally have it. Played well in North Carolina last weekend. A 2-2 draw against the 6th-ranked Tar Heels, and then a narrow 1-0 defeat where Johnny Torres actually felt they played even better against Wake Forest, but they had the ball bounce their way. Akron, meanwhile, with a 2-0 defeat at Xavier, and then a 2-1 loss to fellow national powerhouse Stanford at home last weekend in front of a great crowd. They fell to an 89th minute goal. Toshiro for Creighton. Down the right flank for Hawkinson. Defender fell down, and it could have bounced anywhere. It fell kindly for Akron in the end, off of Marco Milanese. Hawkinson now trying to give it to Espeleta. It was cleared away. And I don't think that ever went out of play. It didn't.
So now a handball.
Yeah, that's a handball against Creighton's Yunus Boudadi.
I was gonna say, it looked like it hit the line and curved back in. We obviously are on the far side or opposite side from that ball.
Referee pretty lenient there, because that could have been called deliberate handball, which is usually at least a yellow card.
That was accidental deliberate.
He clearly did not intend to deliberately handle the ball. I guess you could put it that way. Akron again calmly playing their way through the back. Bradley Chick. Aimless ball there, cut out. Now a turnover to Hawkinson. Hawkinson looking for room to shoot, and Hawkinson forces the stop out of Tor Saunders. First corner of the match coming for Creighton.
Well, great save by Tor Saunders. Hawkinson had time to size it up, and a fantastic ball put on frame, but Saunders was ready. One more time. Nicely done by Saunders to parry it out.
Hawkinson will then take the corner. In front of that packed north end with the beer garden and the Steins, the Oktoberfest party.
And the comfortable couches.
Yeah. It's the place to be. Hoping to see a goal scored right in front of them before the end of this first half.
Now Charles August will take the corner instead of Hawkinson.
Now Hawkinson left it for August. And August plays it to himself, which apparently you can't do. And so that opportunity goes to waste for Creighton. Interesting idea. That's not legal, though.
Well, here's the question.
And now there's deliberation between the...
Well, did Hawkinson put it in play?
Yeah, I don't know. They're letting him retake the corner, apparently, which is really bizarre. Yeah, they must be saying that Hawkinson subtly rolled it outside the corner area before August came over, so technically that ball was in play.
It was already in play, but the whistle has to begin to play, and the whistle didn't blow until before August was there.
So the corner is allowed, and it was knotted on frame and then deflected up in the air. Unfortunately for Akron, it falls kindly to Saunders.
Be interesting to see what the final decision was there.
Yeah, and if that subsequent corner had ended up in the net, which it nearly did, I think Akron would have been pretty heated about it. But play on, 0-0 with 20 minutes to go in the half. And Congo gets to this ball first and ushers it out of play. Have the first substitution of the night for Akron is Colin Byros, ready to come on. Sophomore from Jackson, Ohio, as he replaces David Egbo. Hasn't seen a lot of the ball in this first half.
Well, injured early or dinged up early, and then had a couple of touches close, but nothing that resulted.
There is Byros with his first action of the match, and he finds Tom Smart. Pacheco. Enrique Cruz fouled Yudai Toshiro. Free kick for Creighton.
Got him with the arm bar, which, as you mentioned, the 5'5" Toshiro's height earlier. I suppose not intentional.
There's Jared Embick in his 7th season at the helm of this powerhouse Akron program. And in the College Cup 3 of the last 4 years. And he doesn't mind them getting off to slow starts. He'd love to win these early season non-conference matchups, of course, but they schedule a really tough early schedule every year. So they really try to deliberately build their team's fitness as they go deeper into the season. A lot of teams try to be fully fit at the start of the year. Jared Embeck feels that causes some of them to wear down towards the end of the season. So they deliberately are not at 100% fitness levels in those early matches. And he's okay with them being a little out-fitnessed early on if it means they can peak physically later in the year. And that's what they've been able to do each of the last several seasons.
Believes in the gradual climb. And again, when you're playing top-notch talent like Stanford, like Creighton, and you play them at less than peak fitness, when you get the chance to play them at peak fitness, you more than likely that will have the advantage. I can see the thinking in that.
Jay's crowd is not happy about Carlo Rotaccio throwing that ball far up in the air after that throw-in. Some referees would have given a yellow, but again, John McCloskey's been pretty lenient in this first half for both teams. Will Jackson with a good take out of the air. Now lots of space on the right for Bradley Chick, but they could not find him with that ball, and it slowly rolls out for a goal kick.
We saw a cross earlier going near side to far side that they matched up perfectly with. That one just led a bit too far. And another substitution on for Akron.
Federico Serra jogs on, replacing Enrique Cruz. Now Bryce Gibson has gone down. And that's not a good sign for Creighton. Again, he's just returning from injury today. And you hope he hasn't re-aggravated something. One of the Jays' two team captains. He's on the pitch for the final few minutes of their last match, but looks like he's looking at something on that left leg, and you see the trainer indicating for a substitution. Be a blow for Creighton.
Not sure the Blue Jays see that request yet. Coach Torres on the sideline instructing.
See Johnny Torres put his whole team over for a huddle, but pretty animated. He's seen Akron have the upper hand for a lot of this first half. Jays have had a couple threatening moments, but Akron have forced a big point-blank save from Paul Cruz. Tor Saunders did have to make a stop at the other end for Akron off a longer distance effort from Luke Hawkinson.
Connor Ramlow will replace Serra. Or excuse me, Bryce Gibson.
Gibson back to his feet, but walking very slowly off the pitch.
Well, he indicated to the trainer that something is not right. So he comes off for Ramlow. And they'll do a few more checks on the sideline.
By the way he's going off the pitch, it suggests he knows something's wrong. Again, a senior. Cliche to say you hate to see that, but you truly do. It's going to be a tough moment for Bryce Gibson.
Ramlow already on, excuse me. It was Luke Mitchell coming on. I heard Coach Torres say in the crowd mic that it was, I heard 3, and then I saw 23. Either way, Luke Mitchell checking in for Gibson.
Back in play now, Udai Tashiro with some space. Rolls Budati into further space, and Budati surging down the right into the box, rolling toward the penalty spot and hacked clear by Colin Byros. But back comes Tashiro, slicing through a couple defenders. Budati onside, across the 6, deflected on, and then cleared off the line somehow. As the goal was gaping, and it looked like the Jays were going to slam it home, but it stays 0-0. And now the counter is on, and Akron have 3 attackers, and one of them on the right. Here's Chris Lou Young just onto the pitch. Young, not sure whether he was trying to shoot or pass there, and in the end did neither, and the Jays survive. Both teams surviving good chances. a missed clearance there.
Nearly an own goal.
Yeah, that was Chris Lou Young at the other end, who almost put it through his own net as Cruz smothers at his near post. Hawkinson does well. Congo. Ball didn't find Ziad Ferris. Jays will find a throw. Congo down the line to Hawkinson, who bursts into the box. Luke Hawkinson trying to cut it back for Daniel Espeleta. Instead wins a corner.
Only the Jays' second corner of the match. The first one was interesting.
Udai Tashiro slowly walking over to take it. He also has August standing next to him. So who's actually going to take this corner? August could go with the outswinger. Tashiro could go with the inswinger. It is Tashiro. Space at the back post, but the header was tame and easily taken by Saunders. Luke Mitchell had some time there, a little more space than Akron would have preferred, but couldn't do much with it. Akron so skilled at close quarters, and a switch of play down the left. Cruz reads that early and comes way out of his net mouth to swing it clear. Well, play is stopped for an offside against Luke Hawkinson. Three shots for either team. Akron have had two unframed, Creighton with one. See, that's the third offsides of the match, given against the Jays. Carlo Rotaccio with lots of space. Toyega.
Watch the far side again.
That's where Diogo Pacheco is looking to make an angled run. Tried to find him with that ball, did Tom Smart. It was read and put out of play.
Pacheco getting lost along the far sideline as the Jays collapse in.
That's a great touch. Federico Serra screaming for handball. Referee says it hit his chest and play on. Now over the top toward Hawkinson. And Hawkinson gets to the ball and bursts into the box. Luke Hawkinson cuts it back. Great stop. The rebound put home. And the Jays strike first on Oktoberfest Friday. 33rd minute. Ziad Ferris. Creighton 1. Akron 0.
Watch it again. Hawkinson got the inside position, cuts it back, fires it in, the deflection perfectly into the area of Ferris, and he just touched it into the far side corner. Great save by Tor Saunders initially on Hawkinson, and watch Saunders' hands. Where were you? Can only do so much as the keeper. Ferris puts the Blue Jays on the board.
Well, this big crowd happy on this Friday night as the home team has scored the opening goal, and Ziad Ferris with his first goal of the season. He had one assist last weekend. Johnny Torres said he should have had two. They had a goal that was ruled out that he felt should have stood. Ferris, one of those guys with the departure of Sven Koenig, their leading scorer last year, one of those players that they need to fill that goal-scoring void. He has his first of the season. The Jays have the first of the night.
Well, how about the long ball to Hawkinson? And again, He turned inside, got the inside position. The ball landed perfectly where he could work with it.
Al Hawkinson, he has the overlapping run from Polot, chooses to go forward himself. Then Alan Byros did enough to take it away. Ball kept in play. Sometimes a match needs a goal to wake it up, and now it has, along with this big crowd. Now Akron, a little bit of possession as they look to respond, and a ball over the top forces Cruz out. It was a bit of a hacked clearance, but it worked out. Not sure if he was trying to find Kuba Polot with that ball, but he did. Paul Cruz never hesitant to come off his line. Espeleta. The bank of white shirts in front of him wisely pulls it back. Hunter Ramlow. Charles August to Shiro, neat touch. A little miscommunication as works out for Creighton anyhow as they have a free kick on the midway line.
Espeleta, that ball coming from Tashiro just got held back.
Kuba Polot, always a fiery figure in the middle of the pitch for Creighton. Johnny Torres said he reminds me a lot of myself when I was a player. Great surge from Ziad Ferris, who's clearly feeling it after that goal. And Ferris dancing and crossing off a defender, and it looked to roll across the end line. It did. That's a corner. Or Saunders a little casual in trying to gather that ball there. Didn't keep it from going out of play. Creighton make a sub as Dominic Briggs comes on. Daniel Espeleta, the man who goes off for the Jays. They'll have their third corner of the night. And this time it's just Tashiro who goes over to take it. Tashiro's ball long toward that back post. Hawkinson tees it up. Still loose in the area and then scrambled away.
Tashiro's found a Blue Jay back-to-back corners with pretty good space to work.
Good ball forward. And now onto the run of Briggs. Briggs makes it 2-0. Dominic Briggs off the beautiful through ball. And the Jays have doubled their lead.
Coach Torres knows he put Briggs in just moments ago. And he lost the acceleration. Gets a chance to move past the defender, steps over. Great touch on the ball. Fantastic move as you saw Akron's Tom Smart try to hold up a minute and allow his keeper to come out. And Briggs used it to his advantage, just stepping quickly to the right and blasting it home.
Dominic Briggs, one of two Briggs brothers on this team. Brother Cameron also on the squad. Their dad played professional baseball in the Braves and the Rockies organizations. That looked like a handball. It was. Right off the hand of Will Jackson. Boy, Akron, after playing pretty well most of this half on the road, they've been hit by two punches. And Creighton with some daylight late in this first half.
Well, they were doing such a good job defensively of keeping up with that Jays attack on their back line, and between Hawkinson and Briggs, they have shown that the Blue Jays' top speed is faster than their top speed in that back line. Ball skill displayed by both Hawkinson and Briggs. Along with that speed, man, it's devastating, especially when you look up on that scoreboard and you see you're trailing 2-0 on the road.
Elmar Bolovich, over his last decade here in Creighton, at Creighton, always wanted them to play an attacking style, and Johnny Torres said this year he wants to continue that. Took the Jays a while to get that attack going tonight, but they have found 2 finishes late in the half.
And the Akron attack is lacking the presence of David Egbo right now too, so you got to replace that offensive weapon, as he went off a bit ago and has not returned.
You think about that early save from Paul Cruz as he stopped Pacheco at point-blank range. A very different first half if that goes into the net.
There's David Egbo, you're right. And that's the only shot on goal that Akron has. Blue Jays, on the other hand, now have 5 shots on goal.
Now Cruz, a little risky, but boots that. Almost looked like it was headed completely out of the stadium. On the clock. Here's a cross to the top of the 6. The volleyed effort deflects in. Does it count? Yes, it does. And Akron are right back in the match.
Well, Paul Cruz in the frame thinks they were offside.
Chris Lou Young took the volley and will probably get credit for the goal. We'll see who it deflected off of. Yeah, Creighton were asking for a handball. Ooh, I think that deflected off Colin Byram's and came off his arm, it appeared, which isn't necessarily illegal. Well, the goal is given, and Akron have one right back. Well, we thought we'd have goals in this match. We thought we'd have a lot of attacking play, and that's exactly what we're getting. Again, Akron, one of the premier programs in the country, used to playing in big environments. You knew they weren't going to go away at 2-0. Offside against the Zips here as we approach the final 5 minutes of the half. Hawkinson played it off his shoulder, but Rotaccio dealt with that. Polot, nice angled, cushioned header into the path of Tashiro. August, now space for Briggs. Spreads it to Budati. Budati's ball into the box, attacked by Hawkinson. He couldn't get the clean connection on it. Falls to Congo instead, who swings it right back in, but it deflects tamely to Saunders. 4.5 to go in the half.
Hawkinson just shielded away, couldn't get the... Here's the goal again. You watch it from this angle. Over the head. That might have caught the elbow a little bit, but again, he's up with his arms into his body. And even if it hadn't deflected, it's probably going into that side of the net anyway. We've seen several contacts with the arms tonight in both this game and the Creighton women's game against Iowa State earlier tonight.
And it's a difference between how the game's being officiated at the NCAA level and in the top leagues in Europe, where now, especially with video review in those leagues, we're seeing almost any contact with the arm being given as a handball, or goals being disallowed if it hits somebody's arm, even accidentally in the buildup. But that's not how they're calling it in NCAA soccer. And that really comes into play in a moment like that. And it's probably the best thing for the game, because you don't want goals disallowed.
Well,
for cheap contact, accidental contact with the arms. Here come Akron looking for the equalizer before halftime. It's Federico Serra, but he lost the handle on it and rolls toward Cruz.
To me, that's part of the body. And what's the difference if your arms are in and you're trying to avoid the ball, or if you got your arms straight up in the air and it hits you in your midsection and then deflects? I mean,
yeah.
I know what the difference is. It doesn't touch your arms, but on the same time, if the intent is not there, I don't see how you can rule that it's a handball.
Yep. The Jays, Cruz just has to thump that out of play. Akron able to put the press on.
Here it is in super slow-mo. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, clearly deflects off his elbow, but like you say, that arm is tucked into the side. He's trying to get out of the way. Not a lot you can do there. You understand why that's allowed.
Nice job by the camera crew and the replay booth. They've got full beer steins, by the way, in there.
It's not showing in their work, so well done.
Offside, Akron.
Final 2 minutes of the half.
Everything in moderation, Donnie.
That's right. Except for goals. We'll take as many goals as possible. Hawkinson.
From the guys in blue.
Yeah. Looking for one more before the half. Surrounded by white shirts. Keeps possession. But then a turnover, and that leaves the Jays exposed. And it rolls onto the feet of Federico Serra. He brings Will Jackson into the play. Jackson on the left foot, across the face of goal. Couldn't find the angle. And the Jays survived that bad giveaway. That would have been disastrous right before the half. They keep their lead.
But they got him so crisply, and you watch the acceleration on both those guys on those goals. Hawkinson, who of course the deflection led to Ferris's goal. And the Akron goal developed more. It didn't happen quite as quickly.
Nice job by Hawkinson to win that throw off Colin Byros. Jays don't appear to be in a hurry to take this. Congo does eventually. Toshiro. Spin away from him. Final attack of the half for Akron. It's Will Jackson trying to burst past Mitchell, and he does. And pulls up with 15 seconds on the clock. Now Serra, past one, not past a second.
9.
Final 10 of the half. Is that a corner? Yes, it is. Do they have time to take it? 4 seconds left. And now the referee has signaled for the clock to stop. He's going to give Akron time to take this corner.
Put 4 seconds back on it.
Yeah. And Johnny Torres saying, what? There's not 4 seconds left. There should be 2 at most.
Well, they were about to take it, and there was 3.9 when he blew it.
That's a horrible call, says Johnny Torres. Well, they put 4 seconds back on the clock, so Colin Byros is going to have time to take this corner. Clock will restart on his kick.
So he rounded up, is what he did.
Byros taking a little extra time to make sure that ball is set. You see Akron bunching all their attackers by the penalty spot. Now the kick taken, nodded along and cleared away, and time expires. A late hooked effort from Federico Serra was high and wide. 45 minutes down, 45 to go on Oktoberfest Friday at Morrison Stadium, and it's living up to the hype. 2 goals from Creighton to give them that cushion, but the late pullback from Akron has them right back in it. And at the half at Morrison Stadium, Creighton 2 and Akron 1. Back with our halftime show after this. We knew both these teams have a lot of attacking power, and now that it's back to just a 1-goal game, it really throws it back in the mix.
It certainly does. You look for the Blue Jays to maybe play back a little bit, try to play keep away defensively a little bit more with the 2-goal lead, but with the 1-goal lead, they're not safe right now. They've got to go back to it. Not that they wouldn't have anyways, but now it becomes a more pressing need.
Yeah, it just changes the dynamic of this whole second half. And Creighton in this second half, kicking from left to right in the blue tops and bottoms. Akron in the white. We expected goals and we got them. Now will there be more in the second 45?
taking long for the Blue Jays to present an attack.
It was put in the box by Musa Congo. Cleared away. Kuba Polat. A little quiet in the first half by his standards, but his team still did just fine.
Good news for Akron is that David Egbo appears to be sprinting at full speed.
Egbo back on the pitch as, boy, a sliced clearance there by Tor Saunders nearly cost his team, but it spun kindly to a teammate. Saunders shaking his head afterward. He knows he got away with one there. Now Cruz, who again has no hesitancy to come way out of his own penalty box. And he feels it's justified, and he's almost always correct. Toshiro closing down Saunders and almost got there. A couple shaky moments for Tor Saunders early in this second half. The Jays with the early initiative, looking to gain that 2-goal advantage again. Right-footed effort, deflected twice, still not fully cleared, and then it rolls wide, and Saunders keeps it in and prevents the corner. And Akron living very dangerously in the opening 90 seconds of this second half.
Blue Jays coming out very crisp in this second half, but Akron, not sure that they were ready for this second half to start right now. Nearly a misplay before on the ball across the frame to the other side, and this time it goes back to the near side, and the Blue Jays nearly got in. Not to mention the fact that Yudai Toshihiro got pretty close from intercepting that ball from the keeper as well. So 3 different times Akron has been lucky that the ball didn't roll another way.
Foul was given against Luke Hawkinson a moment ago. So Akron trying to settle this down and settle back into this match. Egbo tackled away. Jays have numbers on the attack, but the ball was left a little bit short for Dominic Briggs. Briggs tracks it down, gives to Budati. Polat all the way back to his goalkeeper. Polat to Briggs. To Shiro. Lets Briggs run onto this one, and Dominic Briggs is away. Briggs on the edge of the box, looking for a teammate. Couldn't find one. He'll get a second opportunity. And this time the overlap from Budati. He swings it across the face, just over the head of Ziad Faris. Congo takes it on, and Congo puts it across the 6. And Faris didn't get a clean contact as it came back to him, and the chance is gone for Creighton. Good opportunities for them early in the second half. Now a dangerous moment for Luke Mitchell. He got the ball on that sliding tackle, and he needed to once he committed to it. Ramlow clears it out for a throw.
Well, for nearly 4 minutes, the Blue Jays had been on the attack. This is the first time Akron will get to develop it on the Jays' end.
Leonard Sohn on at the start of the second half. Now Diogo Pacheco. And that's right down the throat of Cruz. Not quite the cross Pacheco was looking for. Well, again, it's why we were looking forward to this match, Jake. 2 teams that like to attack, that don't want to just sit back, don't want to just lob simple balls over the top. Although this ball does go over the top, and it's beautifully into the stride of Luke Hawkinson, who's up by himself and was waiting for help to arrive, but couldn't keep possession until it did, and then gives away the free kick.
Well, that was very similar to Ferris's goal. This time, though, Hawkinson double-teamed instead of just having one man to beat. And it's taken away by Akron. We've seen the short pass game work very well for both squads. It's when they've gone up top and they haven't been able to get those long passes to connect that they've had issues.
Now here's Egbo over the top as it spun onto the roof of the net from outside the left of the box. Audacious effort, and he nearly found the back of the net.
Great ball by Egbo as he gets just in front of the defender. Gets Cruz on his heels, and watch this ball just over the top crossbar. Had a little bit to play with, but not much.
Oh, if that chip had gone in, that might have been the goal of the season in NCAA soccer. Now Egbo with the through ball into the path of Will Jackson. Jackson scuffed his cross and it rolls across the end line. It did take a deflection. It is a corner. But Jackson, he had Pacheco on the top of the 6, and he couldn't find him.
Ball just does go off Luke Mitchell. So it'll be Akron, who finished the half with 5 corners, had 4 back-to-back-to-back-to-back at one sequence in that first half.
It's harder to take. And it's on target. Screams for a handball from the Akron attackers. Again ignored by referee John McCloskey. Zips look to recycle it though, and they do. Pacheco again. Being faced up by Dominic Briggs. Pacheco knotted clear by Ramlow, who's in good position. Only cleared as far as Leonard Sohn. And Pacheco back to Sohn on the overlap. Sohn crosses, but there's Cruz to gather. Pretty breathless first 8 minutes of this second half.
It has been rapid fire. Blue Jays presenting most of the attacks, but we're getting into the space where Akron is catching up as far as the percentage of time that they've been on the side of the field offensively.
Ferris leaves a defender on the turf, but then trying to cut it toward Luke Hawkinson and didn't get the angle right.
I think he was trying to, I think he thought maybe Hawkinson was cutting, and Hawkinson didn't. You saw the shake of the head after the goalkeeper fielded the ball.
Nice square ball from Polot to bend it around the opposing player and keep the attack on for Creighton. Briggs forced August to retreat for it. August then looks to switch play to the far side. It was picked off. Falls instead to Congo. And now Ferris can come forward. Ferris with the step overs. Keeps play to Tashiro. Now Budati. Heavy collision. No foul given as Budati stays down, clutching his face. And now play stopped.
He waves the trainer on. The clock's still running, though. They stop it at 37:15.
See John McCloskey, the man in orange. Saw a similar play in the first half, and he also let go.
Budati just taking a shoulder on the chin a little bit. He should be okay, and there he is getting off under his own power. It's not something you want to have happen, but just 2 players heading for the ball, and they'll do a jump ball, and the Jays will give the goal kick to Akron. Budati back on.
Again, an example from a goal kick. Akron playing it short along the deck. Not really interested in punting 50-50 balls down the field from that kind of situation, but the Jays gain it. Now they come forward with Hawkinson, who in turn finds Briggs. Briggs using that speed again. Back to Hawkinson. Didn't have the angle to shoot. Now at the end line. Top of the 6. Still loose, and it wouldn't fall for Tashiro. And Akron can clear.
I thought Ferris was going to come through with the header on the back side of the net. Instead, he settled it, brought it down, and couldn't get the shot off. My goodness.
August tracked back to snuff out that Akron attack. Hawkinson shields the ball.
How about that
Tashiro.
cross by Hawkinson, though?
Really good, wasn't it? And now Ferris again finding a lot of room on that left-hand side. Has a goal tonight, wants more. Ziad Ferris straight down the throat of Saunders. As entertaining as this match is right now, you feel kind of giddy that we still have 35 minutes left in it, because it's really good. We thought it would be.
We could still see several more goals as it's going, or it could end like it is right now.
Sometimes matchups like this, marquee games in front of a big crowd, you get so excited and then they fall a little flat. They don't live up to the billing. This one's living up to it.
Blue Jays coming into tonight had outscored opponents, and this includes both men's and women's teams, I believe, 14-2, or is that just the men's team in Oktoberfest games?
Yeah, the men's team has outscored opponents 14-2. Overall, men's and women's have combined 12-1-1 on Oktoberfest
I
over
knew
the
you'd
last
have
8
the
years.
numbers.
Yeah, the right idea. And you see John McCloskey giving a little lecture to Luke Hawkinson and to Marco Milanese, it appears.
He's got the cards out of his pocket, telling him, if I see it again, you'll see these again.
Don't make me pull these out.
Or let me stop this car.
He's not shown a yellow card yet tonight, but making it apparent that he's about to if certain things continue. The Akron Zips. So they look to put that over the top, cleaned up by Luke Mitchell. The Zips have won 7 consecutive MAC tournament titles. They've been to the NCAA tournament 12 straight years. They're the only men's program in Division I soccer who can claim that. Mentioned trips to the Final Four, the College Cup 3 of the last 4 years, including the last 2. Remarkable consistency. MAC champions 11 of the last 12 seasons. The only year they didn't win it in the last 12 years was 2011.
It's a pretty good run.
Yeah, and especially to win that many conference tournaments. It's one thing to win regular season titles. That's really tough, too. Conference tournaments are 1 and out. So to win 11 out of 12 of those, especially impressive. But they're on the short end of this scoreline so far tonight. Creighton, after missing the tournament the last 2 years, trying to reestablish themselves. But here's Pacheco into the area and cleared across the end line by Congo at the expense of a corner.
Well, Congo, you saw the call from the near side. Watch the back side runner. Akron didn't have an attacker on that side. Congo didn't have time to look back to where he was at. So to clear for a corner is a win for the Blue Jays, at least for right now.
Pepe, I should say David Egbo, watching Sky Harder take another in-swinging corner, and it's cleared off the line by diving Congo. It may have been going wide anyway, but that's a spectacular effort by Congo either way. Another dangerous in-swinger. Did look like that was spinning wide of the post, but
Well, when you're that close to the frame, can't take a risk. Clear the ball if you can.
so Harder, this time the outswinger, and again it's dangerous. Again, Akron couldn't get a clean connection with it. But they recycle it back into the box. Toward that far post, offside. Flag raised against Daniel Strachan. And the Jays can breathe.
Survive the onslaught. And again, back-to-back corners. They get them in bunches, Akron does. 4 in the first half, 2 right back-to-back there. And it's dangerous. Blue Jays playing with it dangerously, and Congo saved all 3 of them. The initial attack, and then the 2 corners as well. Stays busy as he puts it over the touchline for the throw-in.
Well, we saw Creighton dominate the first 5 minutes of this second half. They had a couple good chances to make it 3-1. Couldn't quite do so. And now Akron finding their way back into it, looking to level this at 2. Both teams winless over their opening 2 matches. Really eager to dent that win column for the first time in 2019. Pacheco swings it in toward that back post, and it spins just wide. And it was Egbo who had the great chance on the top of the 6 and couldn't redirect it on frame.
Right now, Akron certainly utilizing, look at this touch by Egbo, and just gets his legs crossed up, and he knows he missed a golden opportunity to tie this game up.
It looked like it hit Egbo's right leg and then his left leg before going wide. They give a corner to Akron, so apparently it touched a Creighton player as well. So Harder swings it in again, but there's Cruz with the clean take out of the air. Paul Cruz, the Big East preseason goalkeeper of the year. Second team All Big East last year as a freshman. Started all 18 matches. Played every minute in goal for the Jays. Here's Toshiro, is just stabbed away from him by Strachan. Jays get it back though. Ferris, Ziad Ferris, bursting in, stopped by Saunders, rebound loose, and scrambled clear. Ziad Ferris again causing all kinds of havoc on that left flank for Creighton. Already a goal tonight, nearly had another. Foul given against Akron, free kick for the Jays as we see this again.
Egbo throwing an elbow that gets the Jays call. Look at, oh my goodness, so close to being able to put that one away. Finally Akron clearing it. One thing Akron is doing a nice job on is double teaming those wings as they go forward on the ball. Those long passes, the 2 goals were isolated one-on-one situations, and the Blue Jays were able to score the goal off of both of those.
Dominic Briggs wins it back to Shiro. Couldn't see a man open going forward, so keeps possession and spreads it back. Mitchell, Congo, Ferris looked to reverse past his man, who was having none of it. Inside the final half hour of regulation. First half goals, 4 minutes apart from Ferris and Briggs, gave Creighton a 2-0 lead. 40th minute goal from Chris Lou Young brought the Zips back within 1. Both teams with 11 shots. Lots of opportunities. Jays still with that slender advantage as Cruz takes a touch, calmly rolls it to Polot, despite the pressure from Diogo Pacheco. That's a nice little takedown by Yunus Boudadi, who then lost it. Here's Egbo. David Egbo. Forced to face out now. Left-footed strike off the foot of Yunus Boudadi, who got the block in. It'll be another corner for Akron.
This will be the 10th of the match.
Job by Ramlo to get back and force Egbo to give that ball up. The shot came from Pacheco in the end. Here we see another in-swinger from Sky Harder. Giving the Jays a lot of problems with these balls. And it's knotted back and on frame, but off the bounce, it was smothered by Cruz.
And getting those second chances off the initial contact. It's a good thing for the Jays that it wasn't coming in harder than it was.
Again, Pacheco was the man it fell to, but you're right, didn't get a ton of power behind it.
But they are working to get that second chance off of the initial touch. And it's clearly Akron on the offensive right now, trailing by a goal. Blue Jays not attacking, but they're largely playing with Akron on their end.
Ball did go out. It's a throw for Akron, which they take quickly. Looks like we've had so much happen in this match. We still have 27.5 minutes left. That's in regulation, of course. If Akron were to level, we'd play overtime as well, but Creighton hoping that does not transpire. But here's Leonard Sohn. And it's Pacheco. Sohn on the overlap. Ball finds his feet. Sohn with a cross cut out by Boudadi, but at the expense of yet another corner, which will be number 11 of the match for Akron.
Oh, nice job by Boudadi. Even though it does result in the corner, he keeps it away from the mouth of the goal. We saw the last time that they got inside and were able to get that ball deflecting around. It ended up as their only tally of the match. So Cruz ready for the corner.
Harder's ball flicked on by a Creighton defender. And then Ramlo clears across the touchline. Gonna have a substitution for either team as Akron sends Monty Ostman onto the pitch. First time we've seen him tonight. More on him in a moment. Daniel Espeleta comes back on for Creighton. Ziad Ferris going off for a break there, and Akron send Federico Serra off the pitch. Monty Ostman, though, he's from Iceland. He's a freshman. Guy that they're really high on. Feels adds a lot to their attack. He had a tough time in preseason for Akron, playing in some heat there in Ohio. So it's way too hot for me. I'm from Iceland. I don't like that. But weather cooling off a bit, it'll be more to his liking, playing winter soccer NCAA. It's the makings of being a really good player. Free kick here for Creighton right along that touch line, or is it? No, looks like.
I believe they were just moving them back, trying to creep up for the throw.
Budati. Espeleta. Another throw in, and almost the same spot. All 3 goals in this match came within a 7-minute span late in that first half. Egbo, that's neatly done. Then it was lost by August. And Egbo again. Can he find a through ball? He cannot. Ramla was in the way.
Akron, nice job keeping that attack going off the deflections of the Creighton defenders. A couple of different times they could have lost it and managed to stay with it.
Hey, come on!
Budati slammed it off. Pacheco for a throw at Morrison Stadium. A crowd of better than 4,800 been on hand tonight for the women's game earlier, now the men's game in the nightcap. 4,818 the official attendance tonight, 3rd largest Oktoberfest crowd for the last decade that they've been putting on this event. And now a slack touch, but there to clear was Milanese after his teammate Daniel Strachan almost put them in trouble.
We've seen Dominic Briggs, Cameron Briggs about to check in for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, here is the other Briggs brother. Cameron Briggs. From Wisconsin.
Go ahead, say it.
I'm not going to try to say their hometown
I
name.
believe it's Economowoc.
Economowoc.
There's some fun cities to say in Wisconsin.
Yes, there are. Economowoc, very good. So we've seen both Briggs brothers tonight. One of them has scored already, of course. That was Dominic in the 37th minute.
And there's a handball called. Oh no, a foul called. I thought they were going to get Luke Mitchell with the handball as he came through.
Kuba Polon. Lots of space for him. That was the first touch for Cameron Briggs. Now to Shiro. August. Congo. Hawkinson rose for it, but it was headed clear. Sliced further away. Almost midway through the second half, Jays maintaining that 2-1 advantage. Good rise by Connor Ramlow. Congo thumps it forward. Hawkinson was offside, so he can't play that ball. Really the first lull that we've seen in this second half, when both teams are gathering their breath for a final push tonight. But here come the Zips again. Shrugging off a challenge was Monty Ostman. His first real action of the night. Now lots of space for Will Jackson. Harder. Sohn on the left. Had tons of room. Now that's closed down. Still Leonard Sohn, and there's Cruz. That's an easy take. And again, Sohn, we've seen him get to that byline a few times. Hasn't been able to create a lot of end product from that.
Well, this time just straight to the keeper as Cruz barely had to move to get to that ball. The thing I don't like about that one is that the Jays allowed the passes from Akron to come pretty crisp and cleanly. They had plenty of room to work, even on the far sideline when the shot was taken. And now it's like Congo was injured for the Blue Jays.
Musa Congo. Gonna motion the trainers on. Couldn't see what Congo was pointing to. You see the injury again. just pulls up. That's never a good sign.
Hamstring looks like.
I don't know if that's whether that's a muscle injury or if it's a cramp. You hope it's just a cramp, but you see a guy pull up like that mid-stride.
Yeah.
Not optimal, but see the leg straightened and raised. That's usually the sign for a cramp. So that would be good news.
If it was a hamstring pull, they would not be stretching it right now. So players from both squads taking the advantage to get some water.
Game time temperature for the women's game they kicked off at 4:30 today was about 80 degrees. A little cooler than that at game time for this one. Every year at Oktoberfest, those commemorative steins. Yeah, he's got one too.
Very cool. I wonder how many make it back to where they're going though, because it's a heavy glass product. Of course, Oktoberfest going throughout not only the area but all across the country and in other countries as well. It's good to know that the Jays can find something that works as far as the branding goes and roll with it. So Cramper Congo will have to move off to the sideline. I did not see someone come on, did you? Looks like Keegan Boyd on that far sideline, maybe?
Yeah, Keegan Boyd has come on to replace Musa Congo. Also having some volleyball scores passed along to us. The Creighton volleyball team currently tied 1 set each with UNI. This is the second of 2 matches that they're playing today as they open their season on the road. They took down number 12 Kentucky earlier today, 3-1. So a great opening win for the Jays. It's a top 15 squad. Of course, Creighton have been in the top 10 most of last year.
Beat Kentucky in that opening tournament last year as well.
So another marquee win for the Jays volleyball team, hoping for another tonight. Meanwhile, men's soccer team kind of hold on to this 2-1 lead and offside.
Nice job by the Jays back line. Well done by Bugatti. It was Diego Pacheco that was trying to sneak by him, and the line moving up. Watch it again. And they called it before that initial touch.
Play's going to be pulled back for a foul as Budati a high foot in and didn't get the ball. So free kick taken short by Akron. Toyega. Jay sagged off him initially. Now Toyega finds Son. Ball cut out by Toshiro, who earns a free kick. He was
quick step.
Yeah, always quick, Yudai Toshiro. And initially he was happy to play on there and then realized, wait a minute, we're up 2-1, less than 20 to go. I don't know. Let's calm this down and take some time off the clock.
Watch Boyd on the far side. Doesn't look like Budati's going that direction, but they could easily switch fields.
Hawkinson half won that ball. Fell to August, to Shiro. Boyd. Left with a lot to do, but chases it down by the touchline. Now Espeleta tries to curl it toward right-hand corner, but it was wide and out for a goal kick.
More time, saw something that didn't end up being there.
Johnny Torres hollering for that ball to be pulled back. He thought Akron had stolen a few yards, and the referee, John McCloskey, agreed. Said, all right, move it back to where the foul happened. Now you can take that free kick. Johnny Torres with some effective lobbying there on the touchline.
It's part of being a coach, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's another part of being a head coach. You can't lobby quite as aggressively as you would if you were an assistant. You got to be smart about it.
He said as an assistant, I was just worried about keeping track of the subs and keeping track of our set pieces and set plays. Now, you're the head coach on the touch line. So many different things you have to keep in your mind.
Luke Mitchell, the left center back, good job by him controlling that back line of the Jays, getting them up and even so that they could be in the right spot as far as pulling forward and getting the offside call.
Charles August was clipped, and there's the first yellow of the match shown to Sam Toyega. The first caution of the game. That little kick out. Understandable why the yellow was finally shown for that. That's dangerous a little bit.
Yellow card shown to number 6, Sam Toyega.
Kuba Polot standing over this free kick. Chooses to take it short instead. Now over the top, but that's just going to find Tor Saunders. Jays haven't had as much going forward over the last 15 minutes or so. Maybe with a little more of an eye toward protecting what they have. It's nice work by Monty Osman to win that ball and settle it down for his teammates. Nice switch of play to the right. Here's Will Jackson. That was well done in turn by Keegan Boyd. Wouldn't let him surge past. Couldn't find a teammate with the outball, though. Akron starting to build that pressure a little bit. They need to. Chasing a goal inside the final 17. A sliding tackle by Yunus Boudadi, and now he has a cramp. Another look at that yellow card offense a moment ago. Very late little flick out of the right boot by Sam Toyega.
Substitutions on the field for Akron.
McCloskey warned everybody earlier, said enough of that, it's gonna come, and
Number 14, Federico Terra.
the ball hard into the bench of Akron.
Off rack, number 6, Sam Toyega.
It was his own bench, so they can't complain.
Number 23, Andy Alston.
Will Jackson squares for Harder. Trying to find Jackson with the return ball. Jackson was frustrated by that.
Yeah, Jackson calling for it as soon as he passed it, said put it right here, and the ball was clearly not right there. And he relayed that message after the play was thwarted by the Jays.
Creighton looking to build an attack. Espeleta. Boyd. Partially cut out. Boyd after it again. Falls to Espeleta. Able to sort it out of his feet. Back to goal. Out of the end line. His cross was deflected down and across that end line for a Creighton corner. It'll be just their 4th of the match. And Akron have had 11, including some really dangerous ones. They've not been able to capitalize. It's part of why Creighton still have this 2-1 lead as they send Ziad Faris back into the pitch, onto the pitch, replacing Cameron Briggs. Final 15 of normal time. And Yudai Chishiro taking that ball for a little extra dribble around that corner flag to burn some extra seconds. Pulls that corner back for Kuba Polot. And then knotted along, and it's 3-1 Creighton. But offside, the flag is raised, it won't count. Luke Hawkinson thought he'd restored the Jays' 2-goal advantage. But the linesman near that corner flag had raised the flag.
No goal, offside, Creighton.
No goal, it's still 2-1. Oh, that was beautifully worked by the Jays.
Absolutely. Couldn't have been any more perfect than it was. The offside coming, the officials saw it. And it was quite a ways back from the attack of the goal. So it would be interesting to see, and I think they're efforting the replay right now.
We'll see it in a minute. For now, Akron still within a goal, and here they come, seeking that equalizer.
Watch Egbo sneaking past.
Yeah, he's unable to be found by Federico Serra. Now some space on that counter. And here's Hawkinson. 1-on-3, but it's Luke Hawkinson. Spinning Hawkinson, looking for a teammate. And then could not connect with Espeleta.
Not enough on the pass to Espeleta. Blue Jays lucky to get it back.
Pollock with a 360, but then lost out eventually. That was not a good ball from Egbo. He could have set Diogo Pacheco away. Now Pacheco's away anyhow. He has Egbo ahead of him. Pacheco into the box. Pacheco left-footed off the post. Attack still on for Akron, top of the box. Jackson. And the 1-2 wouldn't fall for Egbo. And it's hooked clear. Creighton keep the lead by a coat of paint.
Barely. And Cruz had to reset himself as Akron had reset the attack.
More room for Pacheco on the left again. And right across the top of the 6-yard box over the leaping attempt of Will Jackson, who just couldn't get there. Akron knocking on the door, seeking that equalizer.
Jackson
inside.
offside right now.
Yeah, Jackson took a while to pick himself up. Now he's back on. And this is Sohn. And now Pacheco. Sohn again with Creighton packed back inside their penalty box. Now they push out a bit. Jackson. Egbo back to goal. Jackson tried to return it. Egbo did to Jackson. It was cut out. Akron keep it in play though and continue this attack. Milanese. Jackson. Pacheco. That deflected off Budati. And another corner for Akron, as we'll see that goal that was ruled out for Creighton a moment ago.
And they got Ramlo on the offside. And here's the shot that goes off the post.
Pacheco drilled that.
Here comes the corner.
Cruz coming for it and able to punch it away. That was really well done by the Creighton goalkeeper in heavy traffic. Jays clinging on now for this 1-goal advantage. And Ferris draws the free kick. He'll draw a card as well. The Jays could use this breather. Card shown to Sky Harder, who took Ferris out. That was actually Henrique Cruz, excuse me, with that foul and then the yellow.
78-46, the second half Akron booking. Yellow card showing number 16, Enrique Cruz.
Pressure being applied by Keegan Boyd and forcing Tor Saunders to just boot that out into touch. Creighton will take that. Clock keeps running.
Cameron Briggs will return to the lineup.
Substitution on the field. Back on for Creighton for 22.
Connor Ramlo jogs off. He's been immense on that back line for Creighton tonight. Now Ferris dances his way around a couple, but not a second time. Paul Cruz has to come way out to deal with that, and does. Jays get to this ball with August, and he wisely chews up some time as Creighton content to possess at the back. Dottie's had another strong match for Creighton. Polot turns it to Briggs. Dominic Briggs has what for now is the match-winning goal. Tashiro, Ferris, Ziad Ferris can't find anywhere to go. And attacked away. Inside the final 10. Akron starting to run short on time. It's still just a potential moment away from leveling this match. Jays with the press, and they commit the foul.
So once the warning came from John McCloskey, he's now issued 2 to Akron and 1 now to the Blue Jays.
It's Udai Tashiro unhappy with that.
Well, I don't know what the warning was or what he said the contact was. That didn't appear to be anything that was card worthy, but here's the replay to prove me wrong.
Just left that foot in a little bit too long.
A light trip.
Now here come Akron up the right side. That's their goal scorer, Chris Lou Young. But again, Keegan Boyd's been really good since he came on in the second half.
Came on to replace Musa Congo. Not only we just saw him make an offensive run this time, nice play off the Akron player to generate a goal kick for the Blue Jays.
Referee waving for Paul Cruz to hurry up with this goal kick. Another ball won by Keegan Boyd, but then he loses it. And he's out of position now, trying to track back as Akron look to take advantage. Heavy touch, though. Some frustration for Federico Serra, who was expecting David Egbo to come short for that ball, while Egbo was trying to cut into the box instead. Head coach Jared Embeck said earlier this week that on his day, David Egbo can be the best player in the country. He's not quite as consistent as he could be, and Egbo has been pretty quiet tonight. But here's a ball, one on the touchline by Will Jackson, and now here's Egbo, who scuffed a great chance wide, and the rebound is cleared away. Not fully clear yet, though. Right-footed strike straight at Cruz, who gratefully gathers. And David Egbo, just as we were talking about him, had a second wonderful chance of this half, and both of them he scuffed.
I'm not sure if he wasn't trying to pass it back to the man that ended up getting it. But either way, he was in perfect position for a shot.
And now the Jays look to put this to bed. Into the stride of Dominic Briggs. Briggs is smothered by Saunders, who came out to cut down the angle and keeps his team in it for now.
Ball just let out too much in front of Briggs, and that allowed Saunders to come out and cut that angle down, as you said, right there. Just a little bit too much lead, and Saunders had the chance to come out and deflect it, and he certainly does for the Blue Jay corner.
Back on for Creighton, number 15 is Hawkinson. Off for Creighton, number 14, Dave Espeleta.
Espeleta comes off for Creighton, who again are in no hurry to take this dead ball situation. Tashiro over there along with Ferris. Tashiro unable to find anyone in blue. It's calmed down by Boyd. Polot just clips it toward that corner, concedes a throw, but forces Akron to go the length of the pitch. Johnny Torres, so close now to his first win as a head coach, but he's not there yet. Colin Byros switches play to the right where there's tons of room for Chris Lou Young. And then clip toward Cruz, who's there to take it off the head of Diogo Pacheco. Inside 6 minutes remaining. Savvy play there by Dominic Briggs to earn the free kick. Clock keeps running. It's exactly what Creighton want.
Here's the foul again.
not a lot in that. Sky Harder, I think, justified with his frustration. But again, if you can buy that free kick when you're up 2-1 with 6 minutes left.
It took another 10 to 20 seconds off the clock on it. That's what the Jays did.
Jays trying to see this one out. And now here's Briggs, found beautifully, and Dominic Briggs one-on-one. No foul there, says John McCloskey. Play continues. Egbo looking to hold it up, and does. Pachenko. Final 5 minutes. It's a tough ball for Chris Lou Young to handle. He did well to keep it in play. Otherwise, Creighton could have burned another 30 seconds before that throw. And Akron are at the wrong end of the pitch as far as their interests are concerned. Jays doing well to push up and press. All the goals came in a 7-minute span late in the first half. Ferris and Briggs for Creighton in the 33rd and 37th minutes. Young for Akron in the 40th. Tons of chances, especially early in this second half for both teams. Nobody's found the net since. Creighton would be just happy for it to stay that way. And they give it away there in the midfield. Akron running out of time.
The back line right now for the Blue Jays doing a great job of communicating, staying with the attackers for Akron, but they are perfectly synchronized horizontally across the field. Just trying to make sure that Akron doesn't have any room to run.
It forces them to try that ball over the top. Cruz was late to come out, and Budati had to hook it away as Egbo was marauding.
Now August has a cramp. He'll be lame on the run.
Yeah, and Akron understandably showing no mercy for that. Here's a nice tackle by Cameron Briggs, but Akron just recycle and continue to probe. They need something in a hurry.
The problem for this August right now, if they put a sub in, this clock stops for Akron because the Blue Jays lead by a goal with under 5 minutes.
Now Ferris looking to take it for a run down that left touchline. He had Briggs in acres of space on the right, but understandably chooses to take it to the corner flag instead. Then loses out. Can Akron fashion one more chance in this match? Flicked on by Will Jackson, but there yet again was Keegan Boyd. Toshiro trying to keep it in play, cannot. Now, Espeleta goes down with that cramp. August, that is. Clock stops with 2:18 remaining.
Espeleta, the man that will replace him, it looks like.
Yep. Johnny Torres. I think Creighton are out of subs, and so have to have an injury to put another sub on. They're allowed to do that. So Espeleta comes on as August gives way.
Come on, Danny!
We said it earlier, we could have 3 or 4 more goals in this match, or we could have none, and it would be an exciting run. And it has been so far. Tense moments right now for Creighton fans.
Here comes Cruz. He has to punch it away. Inside 2 minutes to go. Turned over by Akron. Jays don't have a lot of bodies forward. They'll look to just keep possession. Wouldn't run out for a throw, so Ferris has to play it. Again, Briggs is in tons of space on the right. Ferris was trying to give it back to Toshiro, though. Didn't reach him. We're down to 90 seconds remaining. It's headed for the touchline, and that's a throw for the Jays, and that's precious for them because that's another 20 seconds or so that they can take off the clock. Although Briggs took that a little quicker than he probably needed to.
I think he was being encouraged to do so by the referee.
Now Egbo missed 2 great chances in this second half. A great tackle. And the Creighton defenders staying down. And now play is stopped, and Akron are incensed about that.
Absolutely, they were playing the advantage.
Tell me how it's not a foul. Tell me how it's not a foul.
Tell me how it's not a foul.
Ask him, please.
Akron bench
Hey,
saying.
you know it's a foul. That's why. How's it not a foul?
Budati staying down after that challenge.
We have the ball.
It looked like Budati had a solid tackle. I know the argument coming from Akron. I'm a little surprised that they stopped with Akron on the attack, though.
Yeah.
Unless they deem it a head injury. And here it is again. Absolutely good tackle. He contacted the ball, and
How's it not a foul?
Egbo over the top. They highlighted him before the game.
Awesome. Drop ball and give it back
Yunus
to our goalie.
Budati.
That's awesome. Great to see. Hey, how's that fair? How's that fair? Tell me. Tell me how. Okay, don't it? Because you don't know, that's how. How's it not fair? What's the call?
From that situation, the reason the Akron bench is so upset, of course, is that's a dead ball situation and a free kick, which, yeah, it's sent back to Akron, but now they have to go the length of the pitch again, and they're down to 40 seconds left. They were on the attack, as you said. Strange to see that play blown dead. Creighton will take it. They are so close now to their first win of the season.
Espeleta getting through traffic with some fancy moves.
But here's Pachenko right down Cruz's throat. He chose to punch instead of catching, and so Akron couldn't keep it in play, and that'll just about do it.
I'm not so sure why Paul Cruz just didn't hang on to the ball. Maybe he figured that it was too dangerous to try to receive in the frame. Doesn't matter now, though, does it?
It does not. Final 3 seconds, and Creighton have their first victory in 2019. They remain perfect on Oktoberfest in the 8 years of this event's history. First half goals for Ferris and Briggs were 1-1. Chris Lou Young reduced the deficit for Akron, but they could not find an equalizer, and Johnny Torres has his first win as head coach of Creighton men's soccer. Final score tonight, the Creighton Blue Jays 2, the Akron Zips 1. So a solid effort for Creighton against